Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy King J. I know you lot enjoyed the Teach Me episode with Kazuya. Now we've got it with Heihachi. We do have like one or two sound issues that's happening at the minute, but you know, we're just gonna power through it. It's the main man SWE. Welcome on board again.
A pleasure, man, and welcome to the video, everyone. Hopefully not too many issues on the microphone. Hoping you enjoy the video.
Alright, let's get into it, man. So we're gonna talk about the key moves of Heihachi. Let's get into it. If you can, take off rage as well. That's probably for the last one. Yeah, no worries. Alright, so we're gonna get into the key moves. Let's get into it, man.
Yes. So just like with Kazuya and, well, Devil Jin as well, the electric is, well, pretty much overpowered right now in Season 3. So that's absolutely key move number 1. +5 on block, high launcher, leads to enormous damage, great for pressure, great for whiff punish. 14 frame if done as quickly as possible with Heihachi, if you input it perfectly. There's not a lot of downsides to it. It tracks to both sides, it recovers super quickly on whiff. It's just insanely good. Next move I would mention with Heihachi is his down forward 1. Which is a very, very, very good down forward 1. It hits pretty far away. It's -1 on block, even though it has 2 different follow-ups. This is very rare, if not unique. And on hit it's +9. So it's
Wow.
it's a very, very good poke. Down forward 1 2 is a follow-up. That's a natural combo. There's a myth going around that this is hit confirmable. It's not. You can delay it, but it is -13 if blocked. You can try and delay it and see if they drop their guard, you know, catch them off guard with the second hit. But it knocks down a wall splat. If you do not delay it, it is a natural combo. But again, -13 forces crouch, so Kazuya can twin piston that if he blocks it, or Eddie, etc. You do have a high option as well, so mid-high, and that's only -2, natural combo. Second hit can be ducked, but we're talking like...
Has to be very quick.
But so, and down forward 1, of course, you can do it on its own. The down forward 1 alone is insanely good. Next move I would mention is jab, and then jab back 2. This is a very, very good string. It's -2 on block, making it so that you're pretty much ready to rock and roll, even if they block this. On hit, it gives a very solid advantage. You see at +8, and the second hit tracks to both sides as well if they try to step.
That's crazy.
And if the first hit, oh my god, I'm so sorry about that, Jay.
No worries.
And if the first hit counter hits, the second hit is guaranteed. This string is one of the absolute best strings in the game, if you ask me. It's just insanely good. After that, I'd probably mention the legendary legacy Demon Uppercut, which he's had since Tekken 1. This move is actually, it was buffed in Season 2. It had some tracking in Season 1, but you could step it. But in Season 2, for some reason, they felt, nah, make it homing. So, it's not exactly homing, but it tracks like crazy. Sometimes it hits opponents standing behind Heihachi. But this is a long-range mid-launcher that hits grounded. It's very, very good. And when it does hit, you know, Heihachi has huge combo damage.
Okay.
We'll just do something basic like this. And you're at 73, very nice. If you get the wall, even more. It is -16, but it has so much pushback that most characters, they just can't give you a big punish. Some characters can launch punish this, like Marduk, Noctis, a couple of more. Alice, I think, can.
Yeah.
They'll do a small punish, and some characters can't even punish it at all. I mean, Geese immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very good move. And then after that, we have forward 4. So I'm gonna mention straight away that if we're talking about mids or highs, Heihachi has some of the most over-the-top attacks in the game. I will just be showing you now.
Show us.
His lows are so lackluster. And we're gonna get into that. But the forward 4 you see on crouch, plus 13, so that sets up a guaranteed 13 frame down forward 1. So if they crouch that move, especially at the wall, it's like that. You'll just die.
Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot I didn't have that bound. But so plus 4, just like Kazuya's, plus 4 on block, on hit, it's like, yeah, they die. Well, if you're not ducking and it hits, it's plus 7, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you want to be able to do that out of wave dash. Yeah, just a crazy, crazy good mid. Another super good mid is forward 3, which is a long-range knee, and it's a knee, so it can't be countered or parried, you know, by Asuka, etc., Paul.
Yeah.
Knocks down a normal hit, long range, tracks well, and on counter hit, shablam, launcher. On block, it's really good on block, -3. So again, if this is blocked, you're ready to do a punch parry or sidestep, whatever. Insanely good mid, and you can tell here the range.
Yeah.
No joke. And then Hunting Hawk, launcher these days. Didn't used to be in prior games. Very steppable, but still, if they're respecting you, which most people do with Heihachi, that's +3. That's a +3 mid launcher. That low crushes. But yeah, a bit slow to get started, but yeah, very, very strong move. And I think that those are like the basics of a character. Back 2 is pretty good as well. This is a wall bounce, mid safe. So it's very good at the wall. I mean, safe wall bounce is always nice to have. Am I forgetting anything here? I think that sort of covers the most important. Back 4 is a very good homing move. That's safe at -8. Hits pretty far away. Knocks down and wall splats on normal hit. Will screw people, as you can see, that are jumping. Pretty good. Yeah. I think that's it for at least the best moves. And note that I didn't mention any lows, because I feel they should be mentioned in their own category. Basically what Heihachi is, as I mentioned before, is like, oh, the mids. Some of the best stuff in the game. Some of the best strings, highs, super oppressive. A good Heihachi player, he'll just make you block all day long. You're so afraid of trying to attack because you might get counter hit. And his frames are so strong. But what if the opponent just holds back all the time? What if they just hold back all the time? You have an okay throw game, but it's not that strong. Well, you're gonna want to start throwing some lows. Easy mids. And that's where Heihachi gambles with all of his health to get very little. His hell sweep doesn't guarantee anything. Even on hit, it only gives a 50-50. But the second hit of a hell sweep, if locked now, is safe. But the first hit is still launch punishable like any other hell sweep. If you go for the mid option, yeah, like so. If you go for the mid option afterwards, that's -15. If you block the mid.
Oh, wow.
-16 even. You'll get launched. So hell sweep, nowhere as strong as Devil Jin and Kazuya. Although it has to be noted that the 3.30 update that gave Kazuya and Devil Jin sort of homing hell sweeps, and when they removed that, that buff is actually still applied to Heihachi's hell sweep. So this hell sweep actually tracks to both sides. So that's sort of a plus, but still, it's obviously very risky. You have down back 2, but this comes out at 23 frames. Some people can actually block that on reaction. People have very fast reflexes. You can try mix them up with back 2. They look sort of the same. But again, it just doesn't give a huge reward. This is launch punishable, and all it does is do a decent chunk of damage and give you +5. And that's it. Nowhere near as good as a Hell Sweep. And then you have a down back 3 that's also launch punishable on block. If you block that, it's like -16, I think. Minus 18. Terrible. And then you have a favorite to beginner and intermediate Heihachi's full crouch sweep, down forward 4, guarantees up forward 4-2. Really nice, but unfortunately we can't apply it from wave dash. We gotta actually stop and duck and then do it. And you can sort of try and mix that up with while stunning 1 or while stunning 3, 1+2 if you want to. But still, launch punishable, quite slow to come out as you have to crouch into it, and then it's like 19 frames. You have a generic. If you press stomach 4, you get this generic low. So it's also very punishable considering the only 7 damage, and I'm -2. So I'm at a disadvantage even if I hit you. So Heihachi's lows are just terrible, outright terrible. And that is the huge contrast of a character. Like he's very different from Deviljin and Kazuya. But he has this duality where mids and highs insanely good and lows are terrible. No other character has as big of a contrast between their mids and their lows, I would say. Not even Claudio. Claudio has a sidestep 4 that is really good, I would say. But so yeah, that's basically Heihachi. You'll frame lock them down and try and counter hit them because you have really good counter hits. Try and pressure, try and whiff punish with electrics. But yeah, if they're playing very careful, very turtle, it's going to become really difficult. You'll gamble a lot with lows that don't give you a lot of reward, and if they're defended against, you die. And another thing I want to mention is that if you want to get into a little bit of execution now already, the execution demands to play this character are very, very high. I would say.
Hold on. Let's not go into it just yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go into, because still got to go into wave dash, and then we got to go into how to get good with the execution. And it sounded very informative what you were saying, so I want to save it for that section.
Oh, sure.
Alright, cool. So you see, with the next section we're going to talk about is wave dash and crouch dash, quite similar to the Kazuya one. So just talk me through the moves that he gets out of his wave dash and, wave dash, crouch dash. So, we're talking about he can do this. Well, I don't know how that stepped like that, but that was pretty good. His
dash mix up for Heihachi is just nowhere near as threatening as Deviljin and Kazuya due to their hell sweeps. Heihachi can't do that. He can't knock you down. This also limits his comeback potential in that he doesn't have a fast knockdown low. So, other than, of course, as I said, Waivu, duck, and apply that low, but that's slow. You can easily get interrupted out of that. So, Waivu with Heihachi is mostly about trying to clip someone with forward 4, electric. While standing 1 has a lot of range. I like that, but it's -14 on block, so nowhere near safe. Forward 4-2 is funny to do out of wave dash. Or you can try and, Hell Sweep is not too bad. Try and mix them up with that. Try and get the mix up. If it does trip like that, you see, we actually get a launch. If you guess correctly with that he's not gonna duck.
I've never seen that combo before. Never.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Yeah, you can electric and jab. So that's good, but nowhere near the wave dash mix-ups of... that's not really... 50-50 isn't really Heihachi's thing. He's more of a oppressive, pound opponent into submission, counter-hit oriented, hope they drop their guard, forward 3. Oh, are they trying to space you a lot? Do a forward 4-2, hope it hits them when they're sidestepping or backdashing. It has so much range, so much tracking. But yeah, 50-50, it's like, yeah, certainly you can wave into down back 2, but yeah, just nowhere near as threatening.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Here from the other Mishimas.
It makes sense. All right, cool. So I want to talk about how to get good with execution with this character. So I feel like a lot of people would like to know how to do like Ultic GF and stuff like that, fancy stuff with this character. Obviously, electric is electric,
Right?
But when it comes to like, you know, just execution, like like electric and OTGF, is there any way that you could kind of like help people get good at doing the OTGF, especially like from like while standing 1 into OTGF?
Oh yeah, no, that's something you do if you want to be. Oh sorry, I dropped it.
We're on parsec anyway, so you probably might not get it straight away.
Yeah, there's some delay. Wait.
Oh, there we go.
That's like if you want to be Mr. Fancy Pants, you can do that. But the most reliable option is just doing Iron Hand afterwards for almost as much damage. But yeah, if you want to do Omens, a lot of people, they practice electrics and then they try to do Omens. But the thing with the Omen is that it's a to go straight into, you go forward, neutral, and then immediately down forward 1. And if you've practiced electrics a lot, you have enough muscle memory to input down, and you're not even thinking about it. You could swear that I'm not inputting down, but you are actually doing it. If you put on command history, you'll notice that. Yeah. So you have to completely detach yourself from the electric and start over from scratch and do forward, neutral, and then really force down forward 1. So it is very different. But it's a cool technique. Unfortunately, it's -10 now. It used to be in Season 1 -9. It was safe. So it's not very good. It is good in combos, like if you have a consistency, does enormous damage after the Rage Drive, for example, or while standing 1 if you want to be really hardcore. But most of the time you will not be using Omen. You'll be focusing on mastering the electric. And that's super important to Heihachi and his pressure. And again, quickly from sidestep and backdashing from any situation. Oh god. And Heihachi arguably is the most execution-heavy Mishima, because as soon as your opponent is -15 and you want to launch punish, Devil Jane can do can. Easy mode launch, down 3+4. Kazuya can do something in between easy mode. He does down forward 1-2 into forward 4. Easy 50 damage. Heihachi has no in between. All he has is you have to do an electric. And again, the fastest electric you'll get.
The fastest electric you'll get is a 14. I think we lost you. Are you there? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you there? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh,
yeah,
thank God.
Yeah. Don't worry.
So yeah, the execution demands are very high. As soon as someone is -15, you have to be able to do a fast electric with Heihachi. Or you'll do a down forward 1-2, but that's only 30.
It's good we've done the disclaimer. I can't hear you again. I can't. It's happening again. No worries. So basically, what I wanted to ask, rounding up this part of the section, this section of the video is, OTGF you said is -10, but they made Just Frame Skyrocket -8 instead of -10. How do you feel towards that?
How I feel towards that?
Yeah.
Well, Hwoarang's Just Frame Skyrocket serves a big purpose with the character, and I think it's giving him a long-range mid-launching crouchers, mid-launcher, you know. Heihachi already has, you know, all of these super crazy mids. It doesn't really need the Omen, in my opinion, but at the same time, it's so hard to do, and it has so little range that I feel they could make it safe. Because right now, it's a little bit useless outside of combos. It would be nice to be rewarded for hitting this in the neutral, but yeah, they don't want the move to be too spammable, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love for it to be safe. I don't know why it's -10, but I would say Just Frame Skyrocket is more important to Hwoarang than Omen is to Heihachi. It's more of a novelty thing, I would say.
Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna get into the grabs. So, talk me through his grabs.
So Heihachi actually has a complete throw game with 1+2, 1, and 2 breaks. He has this, oh my God. He has the stone head, forward, 1+2. Eesh! Where if they stay on the ground, you can do a grounded hit. And it will connect. And if they tech roll, you can apply some sort of mix up, and of course it wall splats at the wall. For a 2 break, you have down forward 2+3, which gives you, as you can see, +7 and some damage. It's not too bad.
I didn't know that was +7. Wow.
A 1 break, you have broken.
Broken tie. Quarter circle forward 1+3.
Yeah. Arguably one of the most badass moves in the game. But as you can see, it has a completely unique throw animation.
Yeah.
And so everyone immediately recognizes this. It's so obvious, and you know it's a 1 break.
Yeah.
And the 2 break throw, again, +7 and not a lot of damage. So even though you have, like, quote unquote, a perfect throw game with a 1, 2, and a 1+2 break, the 1 throw is immediately obvious with its unique animation, and the 2 throw just isn't too dramatic in terms of output. So there is definitely some throw utility here, but it's not as high as Devil Jin, for example. And Power Bomb gives some Oki. 1+3 gives some Oki, but again, I would say nothing too dramatic. I do want to mention his punch parry though, which is extremely strong, which launches if you just press 1. So that's a launching punch parry. It does enormous damage. It's really, really good, and you can set this up from many of his safe mids. 4-2-3
Punch parry. 1 back 2, punch parry. You have no idea how many people will jab after blocking those moves, and you'll launch them. It's very, very powerful.
And he only has 2 moves from it, right? He has 1, and then he has 2-1, right? That's it. The only 2 moves from the start.
Now he also has an unblockable
Oh,
that launches, but it's high,
okay, cool.
and it has a lot of range.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. All right, let's go into his rage drive now. His rage drive, because he has 2, right?
Yeah, he has the original back to 1+2, and then in season 2 he got jab into the very same string, and this is much, much, much better. It's not a natural combo. Back to 1+2 is a natural combo, but not from the jab. But it gives you an enormous +9. And should the jab counter hit your opponent, this 10-frame jab, all of that is guaranteed. And of course launches, and you can screw.
Crazy.
So if, yeah, it just kills them outright. So that's a 10-frame counter hit launcher in Rage. It's very, very strong. So his Rage Drive is pretty cool, and it's also really good like in combos like this.
Look at the damage.
Yeah, it does enormous damage. So he has a lot of comeback utility like that, but yeah, unfortunately no quick knockdown low to really get the vortex going on comebacks. And the Rage Art is kind of cool in that it has very, very long range. That's nice to have if you like Rage Art.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
So mentioned previously is that you have also safe launcher in forward 3 -3. If you're facing someone who punishes forward 2, you can use this instead.
Okay.
It's good to know.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so the last section, let's talk about how to fight against Heihachi. So, you know, just 1 or 2 pointers, nothing too heavy.
Right. So I would have said in season 1, you could have said, oh, you can step him quite a bit because this is not too scary. It's not a counter-hit launcher, only knocks down this homing move. This is another homing move, not too scary. But then suddenly, of course, they made 4-4-2 track, electric track. So don't step Heihachi. You need a lot of patience to fight Heihachi. You're going to have to just accept the fact that he's going to stand like this and flail a lot. And you will only block. You will only attempt to attack when you know there's an opening. Like, usually this is when either they finish this, or they do a low, or they do something like forward 3, and you know it's -3, and you can play around then a little bit. But you need a lot of patience, and you need to wait for the openings, and know that whenever he tries to apply these lows, just know that each and every one of them kills him if you just block it. Every single one of his lows. He doesn't have a good low poke like Devil Jin down back 2 or Kazuya down back 4. And that's also why you never really go for low parries versus Heihachi. Because you'll always, if you just block, you'll always get the launch. So low parries are kind of a bad idea unless it's someone doing down back 4 over and over. If you pressure him, he actually has decent panic buttons. Down back 1+2 crushes like crazy, crushes a lot of mids. While standing 2 also has a lot of evasion. And again, he has a really good punch parry. So it's not as effortless pressuring Heihachi as Kazuya, for example. But yeah, if you just hold your guard, force him to start applying some lows, try to sniff out those lows, and you'll kill him. Again, yeah, just be very wary of getting counter hit, how you move in the open space against him due to 4-4-2 and electric. So I'd rather keep my guard up, honestly, than move too much. Keep up your guard, try and force him to do lows. Honestly, I would say that is the counter. Make sure you figure out what your punish for 4-4-2 is. A lot of Heihachis just throw this nilly-willy. Just know what your character's punish is to that. Max damage, reliable. Yeah. And I would have said, now he actually has a while standing launcher, but it usually was a good idea to spam launch punishable lows against him, because all Heihachi could do was while standing 1 or try and crouch cancel electric. But this actually comes out at 18. So if you have a low that's -17, spam it against Heihachi. He can't launch it. For example, I think Anna's Snake Edge is like -17. Just spam it against Heihachi. This can't punish. And good luck crouch canceling electricing that. So that's also something good to have in mind. That's a big weakness. And his 12 frame punishes a very poor range. So if you have an attack that knocks back a little bit and it's -12, Heihachi will have a hard time punishing that.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, man. Well, that's the end of the episode. I really, really appreciate you coming on board, man. And yeah, just for people that want to know like how to find you and stuff on your socials, if they don't know already, let them know, man. Where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on YouTube and on Twitch. I try to stream pretty regularly and upload to YouTube under the TheMainManSWE. And yeah, if you like Mishimas and stuff, I love those guys. So yeah, do pay me a visit. I'd love it.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure doing this with King J. Just 100% my pleasure. So much fun. Such a fan, sir.
Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming on board again. Really, really, really appreciate it. You know, teach me.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully, no big issues with the microphone. I hope.
Yeah, there wasn't too much. So, you know, again, if you liked it at home, make sure you click the subscribe button. You know, go check out Main Man, subscribe to him. You know, let's try and grow the Tekken content creators as far as possible.
Cheers.
And then on top of it, yeah, if you Want to leave a message in the comment section. I'll meet you in the comment section down below. Give a thumbs up if you like this collaboration and the video. And yeah, that's the end of the Teach Me series. Take it easy, everyone. Peace.
Simmer down, simmer now. Couple kicks to your boat, I'm a winner now. Like Eddie with the feet, I'm a killer now. Simmer down, simmer now.